I thank her. The gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I still try to figure out where all of this is going to go, but we've heard a lot from our Republican colleagues claiming that somehow all of this interaction has led to Twitter censoring conservative voices. And I really want to look at what the evidence is that that has or has not happened. In 2020, Twitter commissioned an objective study to examine whether its algorithms disproportionately promotes conservative or liberal voices. This was a massive study by researchers from the University of Cambridge and Berkeley. The analysis examined millions of Twitter accounts and 6.2 million news articles that were shared within the United States. The study results were quite clear. Twitter's algorithms actually amplifies conservative voices far more than liberal voices. So whatever comes of this question about pressure from the federal government, at least up until 2020, it didn't have an effect. A separate study, this one from the Indiana University, found that partisan accounts, especially conservative accounts, tend to receive more followers and follow more automated accounts. So, Mr. Taibbi and Mr. Shellenberger, are you familiar with these studies?
I am. Yes.
Very good. Then you know that whatever you may be trying to tell us, the effect on Twitter didn't happen.
No, I don't agree.
Excuse me, it's my time, thank you. I can also give you many real analytical studies based on actual evidence, but since I have only 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman, if I might enter into the record these studies of what actually is going on at Twitter with regard to censorship or not censorship. Mr. Chairman, may I enter those into the file? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I take that silence as a yes.
Did you identify the document? I'm sorry.
Certainly. These documents, studies that were done by universities and...
We usually take a little bit, it takes a little bit more for unanimous consent than these documents, but without objection, we'll accept them into the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These studies found that to the extent that far-right accounts are being suspended, it's not because of their ideology, but because they are spreading conspiracy theories like QAnon. You can see those up on the board. Talk about nonsense. QAnons, are you really ready for these dots? Where in the country is gone? The rest of the world will go. Q is real. On and on. They're up there, and they're now part of the file also. This type of speech that perhaps our Republican colleagues believe social media platforms, all of whom, by the way, are private companies, not government, are somehow obligated to post. No matter how crazy, how offensive a post might be, these private companies presumably must advance the lies, conspiracy theories, personal attacks promoted by radicals. Now, I'm pretty sure that if the Democrats held a hearing today to force Fox News to post certain content, my Republican colleagues would be up in arms. And this is particularly ironic because we know for a fact that Fox News does spread disinformation and does so while knowing that the material is false. We've learned from the Dominion lawsuit that Fox hosts lied about the 2020 election. Its executives knew they were lying, and yet they were allowed to continue peddling their lies. Now, here's a reporter speaking to this issue, a Fox News reporter. He said, dangerously insane. There's 2 Fox executives describing Fox's decision to push forward election lies as chasing the nuts off the cliff. There are 2 other quotes, 2 other tweets that I think we ought to be aware of, and Fox News was promoting it. They were promoting Trump's lies. Quote up there, big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild. A call to arms, and all of us in this building know the result of that call. A second one, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what needed to be done to protect our country. This is the speech that my Republican colleagues would have us to believe is being wrongly, quote unquote, censored by social media companies. It's offensive, it's absurd. No private company has an obligation to amplify anything, and especially not messages that strike at the heart of our democracy. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Utah is recognized for 5 minutes.